Hello everybody, this is Ben Elsen here. I have a new video for you. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade pizza dough. I don't know why my eyes are looking that way for some weird reason, but I don't know. I have weird eyes. But another thing about me was talk about food. First thing we're going to do, you measure out 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Some people like to use red flour, but all-purpose just perfectly fine. That's what also the recipe says. You also have warm water that you measure out to 1 cup and 1/3. You warm that up to close to 105 or between 100 and 105. Any hotter, it will kill the yeast. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar to that water. The sugar and the water, the sugar will melt in the warm water and also have something for the yeast to start working with when it starts doing its thing. So after we put the sugar in the water, then we measure out 2 tablespoons of dry yeast. And make sure you use instant dry yeast. You can also use the packets if you want, but I'm me, so me. I'll go ahead and put 2 tablespoons of that in there. I don't know why I'm going this way. So then after you put your yeast and sugar in that warm water, you start stirring it. Get all the floaties all absorbed and put into a liquid. As soon as that looks into a nice creamy foamy look, you can stop stirring it for a little bit, but it would almost look kind of like that. But let it sit for about 5 minutes so that it kind of absorbs. So I'm going to go ahead and set a timer for 5 minutes. So while that is doing that, you work on your dry mixture. So after you got 4 cups of flour, you take, I wrote all this down so I can't remember shit. Oh, I said shit on camera. Oops. So you take 1/4 cup of non-fat dairy milk dry. You take that, you measure that out, you add that to your flour mixture. And then after that, we take some salt, which I forgot to bring that over here. So table salt or plain salt is just fine. So we do 1/2 teaspoon. So we get 1/2 teaspoon. Measure out. And I'm using a salt shaker because that's what I have. Don't judge me. Gina. Wonder who Gina is. She's my annoying sister who thinks she's always right. It's not working right. Maybe because I'm out. So then you measure 1/2 teaspoon salt. You add that to your dry. And then, with your dry ingredients, you add 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. One, 2. So it's almost been about 4 minutes, and our dry yeast mixture is nice and foamy. Go ahead and put that in your flour mixture, which I just did it wrong because I put it in the bowl, but we're putting it in the other bowl anyway, so nothing too bad. So go ahead and put it in your big mixing bowl. So after that, you let it sit for like just a minute, just let it absorb, which is not going to be very long. So with this recipe, I'm showing you a recipe with this bowl without using a mixing bowl. It's kind of an old-fashioned way, and I found out with this trick, it gets together easier, and it turns into a much finer dough. So after that sit for a little bit, we're going to take a stirring spoon, stir it all together. Until it looks pretty good together. So you don't see any more liquid and all that flour is starting to absorb. So that in there. It should start looking like that when it's clumped together and start to look all doughy. Go ahead and put your lid on it. And when you do stir, you stir with your hands. You shake it up, stir it around. You do that for about 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes, we shall return. So it's been about 7 minutes, and we're starting to get some dough balls. So how I'm shaking this, I'm shaking it like this. I'm also doing this. It helps get all the excess flour and mix from the edges all together. Compared to an actual mixing machine, you have it stuck on the mixing tongs, which is a pain in the butt when they get all stuck up in there. But doing this causes friction inside the bowl and it starts heating up the dough and it starts kneading itself. And it starts to look like Play-Doh a little bit. So it's been about 5 minutes now, and from going around in circles you start having a dough ball. Still not quite done yet, it's only been 5 minutes. So after that last 5 minutes, your dough should start doubling in size. So you can start grabbing it with your hand. You'll notice it may be a little sticky, but not too bad. So you kind of knead it together. That's why we taught kids how to play with Play-Doh. So, so we get them started on making dough in the future. But you start getting this nice smooth texture. But yeah, you just knead it together and stretch it a little bit. For me, I just do like that a little bit. Kind of helps get it nice and kneaded. Fold it over a couple times and do that. But we fold it in like that. And then you have a nice little dough ball. Put that back in your bowl. And let that self-rise for about an hour. So it's been about 30 minutes since our dough has been self-rising. You notice it has doubled in size. So you just pop a little hole in it, move it around, pour it back into another ball again. We're not making bread. We're close, but we're not making loaves of bread. So continue kneading it some more. The next step I'm going to show you while we're waiting for this to knead and get self-rising some more. I'm going to show you how to pre-season a cooking pan. The pan that I found is at Hobby Lobby. fancy. So if you guys are trying to find like a deep dish pan and try to do like a deep dish or pan crust, I found out if you use cake pans, it does the same thing. So if you want to season your big old cake pan or regular pizza pan, you take some vegetable oil or olive oil, depends if you want to change your fancy. But we put a good dab in there. Swirl it around a little bit. You take this little brush, you go all the way around it, and then you also do the edges. This helps it to have the pizza not stick to the pan. It also helps it cook better and have that nice golden brown look to it. And then when you have this in the oven, you put it at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes. So after having your dough rise for about an hour, it should kind of look like that. Oh, sorry for the camera angle. But you can always put it in a Ziploc bag later and save for like tomorrow if you're making pizza, like I'm planning on doing tomorrow. But, oh yeah, that's very nice. Take it out of the bowl. So, one roll like this could do one big large size pizza. You could always cut it in half, so you could actually have two medium sized pizzas, or you could cut it up to multiple little itty bitty pizzas to make like personal pans and stuff. But like me, I'm making first time in those big cake pans, so it needs to be one big large one. But that's how you make a pizza dough, and I'll show you guys how to make a pizza another time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and put a like on that button, please.